Have you ever wondered if you are an Arcturian starseed? Well, in today's video, we are going to take a look at the top 10 signs that separate Arcturian starseeds from starseeds of other star races. Hey y'all, I'm Peyton with Peyton Energetics, and today we are going to take a deep dive into Arcturian starseeds and looking at those things that make Arcturian starseeds kind of special and unique amongst the other starseed races. Number one, the first thing that you will notice about most Arcturian starseeds is their energy. Arcturian starseeds have the most beautiful, loving, gentle energy you will ever feel. And so this is one of those traits and hallmarks of the Arcturian starseed. And oftentimes, if you are someone who is able to look at energy, if you see energy, if your clairvoyance is engaged, you'll often see Arcturian starseeds having a blue energy. And one thing that you will notice about this energy, the Arcturian energy, is just how soothing and comfortable it is. So one thing to know about Arcturian starseeds is they are the people everyone wants to be around because their energy is just so calming and soothing and delicious. Number two, the second thing you will notice about Arcturian starseeds is that they are organized and methodical. They are great at planning. So your Arcturian starseed is going to be great when you have to get things done. They are great at executing tasks, keeping things organized, and keeping everything on track. Number three, the next thing that you will notice about Arcturian starseeds is they really can struggle with being in a physical body. Now, this is something that in and of itself is not unique to only Arcturian starseeds, but the guides tell us that different starseed races fit into human bodies differently. And certain starseed races fit more easily into these dense physical bodies than other starseed races. And at the top of the list of starseed races that don't do as great or as well in physical bodies are the Arcturians. So Arcturian starseeds very often will struggle to be in a physical body. And that can translate as having a lot of health issues and concerns, having mysterious things go wrong with the physical body that no one can really understand or get a handle on, to just feeling like they don't like being in a physical body. And so this is something that unfortunately the Arcturians are at the top of the list of starseed races that don't do well in physical bodies. And one reason for this, the guides say, is that the Arcturians are coming from such a highly evolved, high frequency civilization that they have really evolved out of the need to be in physical form in their civilization. And because of that, when you take that very high frequency soul energy of an Arcturian being and try to stuff it into a little human body, it's just not a great fit. And so Arcturian starseeds in particular can really suffer in the physical body. And it is something that they kind of have a worse time of it than some of the other starseed races that have genetics that are more compatible with Earth human genetics. So say your Pleiadians and your Sirians tend to have it a little easier when it comes to fitting into the physical body. So one of the things that the Arcturian starseeds are kind of notorious for is struggles with the physical body. Number four, the next thing that Arcturians are known for is they tend to have had a very rough childhood. And many starseeds incarnate into human families that are very challenging and difficult. It's one of those things that kind of separates a starseed from the average human. And Arcturians are again at the top of the list for choosing often to incarnate into difficult families. And Arcturian starseeds in particular are very often known to struggle with one parent or the other. So whereas Pleiadian starseeds may just incarnate into families that they don't fit into, and other star races very often will feel like they don't fit in, Arcturian starseeds in particular are known to have very serious struggles with one or the other parent. So that is one thing that sets the Arcturian starseed apart from some of the typical family struggles of some of the other starseed races. Number 5, on a more positive note, Arcturian starseeds are known to be very multi-talented. Arcturian starseeds are going to be that friend, that person you know who is good at everything. There is nothing that an Arcturian starseed can't do. And so one of the things that Arcturian starseeds often gravitate toward, often just really like to do, is anything relating to science or technology. The Arcturians, of course, are known to be one of the most advanced galactic races. They are said, according to the guides, to have some of, if not the most advanced technology in the galaxy. And so Arcturian starseeds love their tech. And so this comes, of course, from their home star system, where they really lead the pack in the galaxy in terms of technological achievement. So a love of science and technology comes very naturally to Arcturian starseeds. So let me know in the comments below, what jumps out to you about Arcturian starseeds? What are the traits that you notice in Arcturian starseeds that you would consider to be their defining characteristics? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't done that, and give me a like if you are learning something about the Arcturians here. Now, number 6, the next thing that Arcturian starseeds are known for is for being very strong-willed and opinionated. Arcturian starseeds know exactly what they stand for, what their values are, and they really stand strongly behind what they believe in. They are also known for being a little more distant than some of our other starseed races, holding themselves back a bit in relationships. They tend to stand back a little, be a little on the introverted side, which again, not uncommon for starseeds, but the Arcturians, again, a little more standoffish than some of the other starseed races, and a little slower to trust. And this is something that the Arcturians share with the Syrians. And so it's just something that's kind of good to know about them, that they take a little longer to warm up, that they may not be as trusting, and they just like to keep their circles a little smaller, but they know exactly what they stand for. They can be very opinionated, very strong-willed, and very forceful in what they believe in. Number 7, when we talk about the Arcturians, where do they shine? Healing. So Arcturian starseeds in particular tend to be very gifted healers. And in particular, the Arcturians are known for being absolute masters of emotional healing. So the Arcturus system is where many souls go to recover from very challenging or traumatic incarnations. They go to the Arcturian system to be healed by the Arcturian masters. And so one thing you will notice in Arcturian starseeds is they share this mastery of healing. And this can show up in several different ways, whether that is that the starseed is just drawn to healing in general. But Arcturian starseeds that I have noticed are very good at creating their own healing modalities. So they may study 2 or 3 different modalities and then combine those into their own unique process. And this is something that the Arcturian starseeds I know are so gifted at, is taking other forms of healing and creating something beautiful and new and unique. So if you are an Arcturian starseed and you don't know that you're a healer, you probably have some very strong healing abilities that are just waiting to be uncovered. Because really, this is one thing that the Arcturians shine at. They are master healers. Number 8, something that sets the Arcturians apart physically from some of our other starseed races, is that they tend to incarnate into physical bodies with slightly darker skin, very large eyes, and slightly shorter in stature. So unlike some of our starseeds, like the Pleiadians and the Andromedans, who are known to be very tall, very slender, and very Nordic in appearance, very Caucasian and pale, Arcturians come in at the other end of the scale. They tend to be smaller in stature, as the Arcturians themselves are known to, the ones that are still in physical form, of course, be only about 3.5 to 4 feet tall. So they are known to be very small as their home race, and tend to have blue skin and very large eyes, and also a very large head. And so when you see Arcturian starseeds, they may also share that tendency to be on the shorter side, so not as tall as the Pleiadians and Andromedans, to have a slightly darker skin tone, so not quite as Nordic as some of the other star races. And what I notice in all of my Arcturian starseed clients, beautiful, huge eyes. It's one of the defining characteristics when I meet an Arcturian starseed is those gorgeous, big, dark brown eyes. So that is physically one way that you may recognize an Arcturian starseed, or just notice that someone may be of Arcturian lineage. Number 9, Arcturian starseeds tend to love the warmth. So these are not starseeds who are going to be looking to live in the snow, to live in cold places. Arcturians are known to love the warmth. So if you find that you are cold intolerant, you can't stand to be cold, that may be an indication that you have some Arcturian in your lineage, because the Arcturians are known to love their warm weather, their cozy clothes. They just don't like to be cold. And number 10, the last thing that separates the Arcturians, kind of makes them special, is that they are known as the spiritual guardians of the galaxy. So your Arcturian starseed is very often going to position themselves in the role of either healer, as we talked about earlier, or as kind of a spiritual guardian and protector. So this is what the Arcturians themselves are tasked with in the galaxy. They are the spiritual protectors of the galaxy. And so Arcturian starseeds will often fill that role themselves in some way in their human incarnation. So if you are someone who takes on that spiritual protector role in your community, your family, your friend group, that may be a sign that you are an Arcturian starseed. And finally, Arcturians are known to love equality. They are all about equality and sustainability. So you may see your Arcturian starseed being very drawn to sustainable practices, to clean living, clean agriculture. Anything that protects the earth is going to be very resonant with an Arcturian starseed, and they are all about equality. So as you notice from the Arcturians themselves, they have tended to have more of a standoff role, a hands-off role with humanity than compared to some of our star races like the Sirians or the Pleiadians, who have been very hands-on. And one of the reasons for that is that the Arcturians have not wanted to interfere with us. And so equality, allowing everyone to exercise their free will, is very important to the Arcturians. And you see that carry through in Arcturian starseeds, not wanting to step on toes, wanting to let everyone find their own path, exercise their own free will, and have an equal shot at everything. So this is very Arcturian, and one of those things, again, that makes the Arcturians a little special. So I hope this helps you know the Arcturians a little better. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.